tired of everyday vegetables?
No, no, no.
Ah, not beans again.
No, no, no.
Not spuds again?
No, no, no.
Not herb sprouts again.
No, no, no. It's bugger it.
It's the Naked Vicar Show, starring Ross Higgins, Kev Goldsby, and Nolene Brown, with Colin McEwen and Julie McGregor.
Good evening.
Following the Prime Minister's purchase of a bulletproof car and Mr. Joe Bielke-Peterson's purchase of a bulletproof vest with matching tie and socks, other members of the Liberal and Country parties have announced similar buys.
Mr. Billy McMahon has bought 7 acres of bulletproof earmuffs.
Mr. Doug Anthony, a neck-to-knee pair of bulletproof gumboots.
And Mrs. Tammy Fraser has bought a bulletproof mouthguard.
However, Mr. Fraser confiscated Tammy's mouthguard and told her to go everywhere naked.
All of the bulletproof garments are made by the Margaret and Gough Manufacturing Company and are made from double-strength Kleenex tissues.
When asked if his products were really bulletproof, Mr. Gough Whitlam said,
Of course, they're bulletproof. When a bullet passes through one of my garments, you can say, yes, that's a bullet, all right.
Today, in what the Fertilisers Manufacturers Association described as Melbourne, the City Council held its annual picnic.
it was a memorable day for Laurie Scott, the council's longest-serving steamroller driver, who said he'd never run across so many of his old friends.
Laurie's friends were asked to comment on his steamroller driving, but they flatly refused.
Here is a traffic report.
Traffic on all main roads into the city is flowing smoothly.
All trains and buses are running on time.
And there are no traffic lights out of order.
However, a planned strike by train and bus drivers and traffic light maintenance staff should ensure that things are back to normal by 9 o'clock.
And in Melbourne, the Spring Racing Carnival produced some stunning fashions.
Mrs. Tammy Fraser arrived at looking absolutely trite in a magnificently crumpled floral miniskirt with matching thongs, set off by a tastefully decorated hessian-tailed Davy Crockett hat.
But it was Margaret Whitlam's day as she stole the show in her stunning see-through mule-haired jodhpurs and cocker spaniel cape, topped off with a beautiful imitation rhinoceros toe tiara.
However, the day ended on a happy note when her trainer declared her a late scratching from the cup.
And now a word from the Labour Party.
4 kids, a wife and a barmaid.
A word from the Liberal Party.
2 children, a wife and a mistress.
And from the Country Party.
10,000 head of cattle, a Massey Ferguson, and a sheep called Barbara. In the recently published biography of Malcolm Fraser, it was revealed that our Prime Minister wanted to marry a girl of highly questionable character. But his mother took him aside one day and said,
Malcolm, for a man in your future position, wife's not meant to be sleazy. Not my fault.
Meanwhile, in what spiritualists described as proof of life after death,
Adelaide.
a man who was decapitated by a high-flying F-111 has had his head refitted in a miracle operation.
The operation was carried out by Dr. Prawn Chow Min, the famous acupuncture expert and darts champion, who said,
Also,
It was easy. I just got a hammer, a half dozen acupuncture needle, and nail it back on.
During a visit to his ancestral home in Scotland earlier this year, the Prime Minister, Mr. Fraser, asked his cousin...
Look, I've always wondered, what's under your kilt?
To which his cousin replied...
I thought you'd know, laddie. I hear you got a cabinet full of them. Number 25, Wombat Crescent in Engadine, New South Wales. To you and me and any casual passing. The scuba diver looks for all the world to be just a normal house. But owner Alec Griffin, retired toothpick designer and amateur historian, has made a few changes. June Heavyman takes up the story.
Good morning, Alec. I wonder if you could tell us something
That's
about...
a very good question, June. The idea of the genuine pioneer settlement sprang from out of necessity due to an unforeseen slump in the toothpick industry, leading to my industrial redundancy, and of course to the fact that I was slowly starving to death.
Oh, then I suppose you...
Another probing question, that, June, to which the short answer is no. However, everything you're about to see on this trip back through time to our heritage at the beginning is genuine to the extreme.
I see.
What a good idea. Why don't you film a typical tour? And uh-oh, here comes another busload of clients now. Bless their little heathen souls. G'day and sayonara, chaps. Welcome, Sam, to the genuine Australian pioneer village. I'm your tour host and guide, Alec Cobber Griffin. And as far as I'm concerned, Changi never existed. By the way, you can call me sir. All right? Hang on, and we're off. As we tread the crazy concrete paving, I'd like us all to imagine your little seekers spinning backwards in time as we travel back through time to the colour and romance of Australia's wild colonial days. Now, may I suggest you all keep your cameras at the ready, because every relic you see is genuine at the extreme. And oh, what's this? Our first link with yesteryear. Ned Kelly's scooter. Cameras. It was on this very scooter that Ned Kelly made good his escape from Glenrowan. Now, moving in a Thunderbolt's carport, being careful not to slip over Catherine's Victor. Now, I'd like us all to gather round and pause to reflect about this tragic relic. A silent sentinel to man's vainglorious deeds. Yes, it is. Burke and Wills, Esky. Cameras. Now, as you can all see, we're surrounded by genuine artefacts and links with Australia's past. Cameras at the ready, please. Joseph Banks, lawn edger. Abel Tasman's jumper leads, as used on the Endeavour when she stalled off Bondi. Stuart's Qantas bag. And not forgetting little Caroline Chisholm's footy boots. Here we have an unique historical combination. Mad Dog Morgan's Hills hoist. And oh, what luck. Hanging upon it, Ben Hall's leopard skin jockettes. And now, moving on past Captain Moonlight's paddling pool, let's all go inside, eh? Oh, and what have we here? A genuine in the extreme and genuine reenactment of Lady Macquarie's drawing room. And ready. Cameras. Hope you've all enjoyed your little trip through history just as much as I enjoyed taking you. Drop the rope. That'll be $10 each, please. Thank you very much. And if you all head off to the minibus, I'll get Wayne to run you up to the bus stop. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Dad! Breakfast ready! Baby, you're the best!
What's the matter with you, Phil?
Nothing, dear. I'm happy.
Well, stop it. It's brekkie time.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't eat that.
Why not?
The Queen's watching me.
Where?
Under me chops. On that plastic Jubilee plate you stole from the Tupperware party. I can't eat off this. She should be hanging over on the wall next to the Kingswood warranty. Not flat on her back under a chop.
Oh, look. She's got it right across her chin. Makes her look just like Rolf Harris. Just a minute. There you go.
Thelma Bullpit, may lightning strike you. You've just Rosella'd the Queen.
Look, it's running down her nose. Makes her look like Lionel Murphy.
Thelma Bullpit, wash your teeth out. Sorry, Your Majesty. Now, hang it on the wall where it belongs. Make sure you take the chops off first. I don't want chop juice dripping down all over my genuine stuffed penguin sherry decanter. Besides, it may drop in my war souvenir.
That old thing. I wish you'd chuck it out.
That old thing, Thelma, is a priceless relic, a symbol of the modern samurai. It's a fearless kamikaze pilot. That old thing, Thelma, is a noble badge of honour, captured in the heat of battle.
It's a sock.
It's a kamikaze sock, Thelma, stained with the battle of defeat. As long as I live, that sock will be proudly on display in this home.
I'm glad you didn't steal his underpants.
There we were. It was 1943. Our unit had just charged ashore at Kokoda Beach. Nip shells everywhere, dropping out of the sky like fruitcakes.
Morning, Mum. Dad.
Quiet.
Not now, dear. Your father's talking about the war.
Oh, not the bloody war again.
Yes, the bloody war again, God bless it. Anyway, there we were at Kokoda Beach.
Kokoda Beach? Kokoda's a trail up in the mountains.
Well, it is now, but before the war, it was a mountain surf beach, Kokoda Trail. It was started as a health resort for consumptive fuzzy wuzzies.
Oh, bullshit.
It's true. I saw 'em. All thin and pale. They're in a bad way. Bloody hard keeping a bone in your nose when you're coughing all day.
I've got to go, Dad.
Don't you dad me, boy. I'm your father. There we were, sitting in the foxhole. Me and Robbo and Donga. All was quiet, save for the tense whistling of the fuzzy wuzzies sharpening their lap-laps.
Lap-laps are things they wore round their waists.
That's right, and deadly. They'd whip 'em out and cut you in half before you could say wheat mix. Half the Japs didn't know it had happened to them until they bowed. Hundreds of Japanese saying, "Ah, so," and falling off their legs.
You were in the catering corps. When were you in the front line?
Wherever there was action, boy, there was a second field kitchen. Our battle cooking was legendary with the troops. You could chart our progress by listening to the explosions.
Yeah, I bet. Look, I've got to go,
The
Dad.
second field kitchen was under fire so much that General Blamey himself called us the mixed guerrillas. In fact, and here's a bit of little-known military knowledge, it was my savoury jungle rissoles that sent our boys thundering over the Kokoda Trail.
Yeah, fascinating, Dad. But look, I've got to go, so bye-bye, Mum.
Bye-bye, dear.
Well, where are you off to?
Well, that's what I've been trying to tell you. I've got to go and chase the greyhounds, so give us the keys, will you?
The Kingswood? You're not taking the Kingswood? I just changed the air in the tyres.
But, Dad...
No, you're not taking the Kingswood anywhere, and that's final. How'd the greyhounds get out anyway?
Well, I was training them with a new lure, and they grabbed it and jumped over the fence and ran off with it.
Well, you better jump over the fence and run after them.
Oh, Dad.
Go on, off you go.
Oh, jeez.
What new lure?
Oh, just some rotten old khaki sock I found on the mantelpiece.
My kamikaze sock!
Gosh, look at him go!
Yeah. Got him again.
Do hurry, Malcolm. You'll be late for Parliament. Parliament.
That's Parliament, Tammy. And you know, I always like to get myself in the mood before I go. Now, where's my Bob Hawk duck? Ah, yes, here it is.
Malcolm,
Yes, Cheeky Poos?
you know my friend Elizabeth, the English lady.
No, Tammy. Your friend's name is Iris, and it's a sheep.
Oh, no, dear. My other friend, Elizabeth Queen, or whatever she calls herself. You know, there's a picture of her on the $1 note, scowling at an emu's bottom.
Ah, yes, filthy things, emus. I'd have them all shot. Except that Doug Anthony needs all the votes he can get. Ah, don't you tell me how to run my cabinet, Billy McMahon. It's my party and they'll cry if I want them to. Beat, hit, fuck, molest.
Malcolm,
Yes, Dimpledoos?
Elizabeth is having trouble with young Charles.
Well, he's not gay, is he?
I don't know, dear. He seems quite jovial on occasions, but I've never seen him actually gay.
Good. You can't be a prince and have a good time.
Oh, but he does, dear. Elizabeth tells me he still goes out with young girls, despite her frequent scepter in the eyebrows treatment and the occasional orb in the solar plexus.
Perhaps he's just sowing his wild oats.
Don't be silly, dear. He can afford Uncle Toby's. Mind you, some of those girls look as if they should be towing ploughs.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sir John. I didn't realize it was you. What the hell?
Of course, I blame Charles's bad habits on his Auntie Margaret, Princess What's-her-name. Now, she could sow wild oats in her heel prints. And as for Roddy What's-her-name...
Llewellyn. Lightning Rod and Princess Target. That should cheer you up a bit, Sir John.
Politics aside, Malcolm.
Fishing Rod and Princess Mullet. You always were one for a bit of a giggle, Sir John. There, back to your old comical self again.
Giggling Sir John Ducks aside, Malcolm, what advice am I going to give Elizabeth about her family?
Well, if I were you, I'd tell her... Good heavens, you're frothing at the mouth.
Last year, it is a worry for her.
No. Not her, Tammy. You. What are you doing?
Shaving, dear.
Tammy, how many times do I have to tell you your legs are on the other end?
Oh, yes, I remember, dear. But your legs are so far away. It's
That's
much
enough,
easier to
Tammy,
do...
that's enough. You'll upset Sir John again.
Don't worry, dear. I have a joke that will appeal to the duckwit. What would you get if you and your political friends held a meeting in the bath?
What?
A bathroom cabinet!
Travel on board our terrific P&O cruises, we can promise you a really ripper, restful trip. Of course, you don't have to be bored. There's oodles of things to do, like sitting in the sun, standing in the sun, lying in the sun, leaning in the sun. And for those who want to just rest and relax, of course, there's just plain old sunbaking. Of course, for added variety, the entertainments officer can and often does arrange for some rain. And of course, our service is really first rate. Some of our passengers find it very hard to drag themselves away. They've been with us for years. Of course, the late afternoon entertainments include standing by the handrail, watching the sun go down. Sometimes the sun stands still and we go down. Little P&O joke there. And after the sun goes down, that's when the fun really begins.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with W. Water.
How would I sum up the absolute unique experience of cruising with us? One word, seasickness. Another little P&O joke there. But seriously, the whole intoxicating magic of a P&O cruise could be summed up with one romantic word: romance.
Jack!
Kathy, is it really you?
Pinch me, Jack, and say that it's not a dream.
It's not a dream.
Thank you, Jack.
Oh, Kathy, I'll never let you go.
Take this, will you? Dear sir or madam, asterisk, footnote, strike out whichever is inapplicable. I am sick and tired of receiving your stream of cretinous, whinging letters. As head of public relations, it is my sole function to help you, not to sit here reading your pathetic, unmitigated drivel day after day. There are 20 million phones in this country, and if you got one that doesn't work, all I can say is you're lying. Further, should you continue to shower me with your gibberish, lunatic ravings, I shall be forced to send a policeman to your home with strict orders to strangle your goldfish and fill your pink, fluffy slippers with cold tapioca pudding. Regards, etc. Your loving son, Peter. Hello, public relations. What do you want? Your phone's not working. Well, all I can say is you're lying. Because if it's broken, how can you be ringing me? Our neighbor's phone. No one likes a clever dick. With that attitude, sir, one could very easily find oneself up to the ankles in cold tapioca pudding. All right, Mother Superior. What is wrong with your telephone? I see. I think I'll transfer you to Don dial tone. Hold the line, please. Hello, Don dial tone. Peter PR. Sorry to wake you. Yes, I know. It's all go here, too. Look, Don, have pathetic public online with broken phone. Neighbour's phone. Yes, clever dick. Talk to her, will you? Hello, pathetic public. Mother Superior. Have Don dial tone. Talk to the PP, Don. Hello, Peter P. Timmy time call. Long time no talky talk. It's all right, I was awake. What are you doing up? Yes, I know, damn phones. Don dial tone. Got him here talking to a PP. Yes, neighbour's phone. Clever dick. Will you hold? Cheeky. Excuse me, Mother Superior. Hello, Don. Don dial tone. Sorry to wake you again. Have Timmy time call online for talky talk. Can do. Hold on. Cheeky. Hello, Mother Superior. No, Peter PR again. I'll put you on to Philip Foltz. Hold cheek. Nothing. Sorry. Hello, Phil Foltz. Peter PR. Sorry to wait. Oh, you're up? Tilly tea trolleys there already. Listen, talky talk to PP Mother S with broken phone. Yes, neighbour's phone. Will you hold? Cheeky. Mother S, Peter PR. Talk to Phil Foltz. Oh. Yes, Peter. Yes, Peter PR. Troy Trunks. Long time no hear. Who? Timmy time call? Yes, it's here talking to Don dial tone. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hold. Thought you would. Timmy time, Don dial tone. I have Troy Trunks for talky talks. Hello, Mother S. Phil Foltz. Have we solved your problem? Not yours, Phil. Hers. Yes, clever dick. Huh?
Yes, got them here. Hold. You too. Mother S. PPR again. Now, dear, how would you like to talk to Warren Wiring? Simon Satellite? Lance Lines? No, a bit butch. Besides, he wouldn't be awake. Or you can talk to Wayne Warplug and Sam Socket, or Murray Maintenance, or Craig Cross Line, or hang up. Yes, I think that's best. Oh, dear. Okay, fellas. It's worked again. Everyone back to work. Sleep tight.
Following the success of Don Chip's book, Billy McMahon has published his own story of political life.
It's called From Ears to Eternity.
In it, Sir William McMahon reveals that Malcolm Fraser's pickled onions in people's pockets prank was pretty tame stuff. He tells of Gough Whitlam's attempt to cut off supply by dropping a ferret down Malcolm Fraser's trousers.
The ferret died.
He also tells of the time a group of angry politicians anonymously sent a photo of Adolf Hitler to the Premier of Queensland.
He autographed it and sent it back to them.
Sir William also reveals that when visiting Doug Anthony's home, Tammy Fraser took along her own crackers so she had something to spread the sheep dip on.
Meanwhile, in a place that Melbourne would like to be,
Sydney,
a man had his arm bitten off by a crocodile.
Doctors have described the man's condition as being dangerous, but quite harmless.
but the crocodile has had several good offers from football teams. Here is a police message.
So shut up and listen or I'll slap your wrist in a microwave oven.
This morning at exactly 2 a.m., or to use the police metric time scale,
Darky poos.
Mr. Malcolm Fraser, a pensioner's curse of no fixed abode,
or country, for that matter,
had his pocket picked by what police described as a pickpocket.
Nice work there by the boys in forensic.
An identikit picture has revealed that the pickpocket has no mouth, no eyes, no nose, and no hair.
In fact, nobody saw him.
He is therefore described as being
of medium height, of medium build, of medium eyes, of medium mouth, of medium nose, and bloody clever.
The clever pickpocket was foiled by Mrs. Tammy Fraser, a Prime Minister's curse of the same address, who beat him to the valuable bits by half an hour.
However, police would still like to interview the clever pickpocket, as Mr. Fraser would like his bum back.
The Prime Minister, Mr. Fraser, has finally replied to the question of cheap overseas airfares.
Speaking during one of his lightning visits to Australia, Mr. Fraser said,
I don't see why my grubby little loyal electorate should pay any airfares at all. Why don't the sweaty little whingers go out and buy their own jets? Just like what me and Tammy done.
And Toll Toys have released a new game called the Public Service Game.
It consists of more pieces than you can use.
Takes years to set up.
Then you roll the dice and no one does anything.
Sharp! Oh. Come on. Come on. That's all right. Don't be shy. Don't be silly. Of course she won't. She's very nice. Stop doing that. Dirty. Now, give her a big smile. Say hello nicely. That's the boy. Well, aren't you going to say hello?
To what?
To Alan, my friend here.
He's a bit thin, isn't he?
He's a bit sick. He sprained his ringworm. Go on, shower. Show Mrs. Jackson. See?
Ooh, nasty.
Mrs. Jackson, Alan. Alan, Mrs. Jackson. Go on, shake hands. The other hand. Stop doing that.
Look, Bruce, Take you and your scruffy little mate.
Say hello to Alan.
Bruce.
Say hello. Go on, shake hands. The other hand. No, not you, him. Alan, if you keep doing that, your hair will go blind. Now, go on.
Hello, Alan. Goodbye, Bruce. Goodbye, Alan.
No, goodbye me not off, Mrs. Jackson. Or I'll get Alan to point his bone at you.
Alan's a butcher?
No, Aboriginal. He's got a deadly bone with a silencer. He's a hitman from the north. Have bone, will travel. Alan's my bodyguard. A hired bone.
Why do you need a bodyguard?
Well, if I didn't have a bodyguard, Alan wouldn't have a job. That'd be two of us unemployed. Besides, he's training to be a Winifred Atwell. That's why he's got the piano on his back.
Look, Bruce, what do you want?
A grip of Tarzan's tube, please.
What?
Some glue.
What for?
To stick things with.
I'll stick this tinny
Stick
right
me
up.
not up, Mrs. Jackson. For with your glue and these hands, I will fashion for myself a new life, far from the plastic society, where a man can commune with nature peacefully, instead of big kids hanging him upside down in a dunny. For I, the renowned Wombat Twerp of Wombat Crescent, shall become famous as Bruce of the Jungle. I can see me now, proud but noble.
Himgawa Hanahoma. Himgawa Hamahoma, Oya, Himgi Aya, Oga, Gombongo, Ikawani, Homgo, Giga, Hama, Jango, Jimmo, Tiva Yanga. Hamagoga, Hamagi, Oya. Aya, my Hona. Himgawa Hanahoma. Gogiga Hama, Jan Hawagoga, Hamagi, Oya. Gawa Hama Hama, Oya. Ikma. Gawa Hama Hama, Oya. Himgi Aya. Skid Adia Hom, the Gilihania. Hungriksada. Gawa Yumangi. Hinga Paisha na Huma. Himga Hawa Hana. Himgawa Hama Goya. Himgawa Hama Hama, Oya, Himgi Aya, Oga, Gombongo, Ikabaninya, Hama, Oya, Himgi Aya, Himga Hama Hana Hama. Voilà, mais mo garania. Voilà.
dinosaur.
No. It's all based around the way atoms are made up. Look, say this salt cellar was the nucleus. Now, the neutrons zoom around it like this.
Stan!
But the protons... Now, imagine this chop is a proton.
Stan! Sorry, Dad.
Now, the protons bombard the plutonium catalyst.
Stan! Oh, really, Stan? You're making an awful
Now,
mess.
imagine this chip was part of the nuclear fission. Nuclear fission chips. It hurtles past the proton to react violently with the accelerated neutrons.
Stan! Sorry, Mum.
Thus, ergo, QED, Hiroshima!
Really, Stan? Sorry, Mum, it's Stan.
Don't worry about Stan, dear. I've got my drive. Watch this. See? New drive. Makes the worst stands disappear. Hey!
Oh, g'day, Lois. Oh, geez, your veins are looking good.
You reckon?
Yeah, terrific. Of course, they'll look even better when you get the stitches out.
They are out.
Oh, huh. Clever the way they lined them up with the seams in your stockings.
I'm not wearing stockings.
Oh, I've done it again, haven't I?
Forget it.
Okay. Promise you won't tell anyone.
What?
I was a pussycat last night.
Why?
The ad.
What ad?
Here. Girls, have fun and earn extra money part-time. Be a pussycat girl. If you are sophisticated and attractive and have a sparkling, dynamic personality, call Chiquita at Pussycat Escort Services now. So I said to myself, Narelle Hudson, I said, this is for you. Well, Chiquita sent me to room 48 of the Bardwell Motel, where I had to make this lonely, sophisticated company executive.
So you know what the salesman said? What? He's so good at doing. You know what he said? He said. He said the cat chundered on the farmer's daughter. She's here. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Come on, you had it. Where is it? What are you doing?
You had it a minute ago.
No, I didn't. Come on, where is it? Come on. Here it is.
Here it is.
Oh, Eddie, right. Get on to this.
Hurry up.
She sounds keen.
Be with you in a minute, baby.
You never know.
G'day, baby!
Pussycat Escorts?
Where is she?
Well, actually...
Here, puss. Here, puss. Here, puss. Puss.
It's me.
Puss. Come on, puss. Here now. Puss.
Meow?
Puss.
Meow.
I'll be going home, mate.
Jerry, no.
Oh, no.
Have another beer, mate.
No, thanks.
Have another beer. No, come on, have a beer. We're in no hurry, are we? Yeah, well, why don't you sit down there, right? Here, would you like a drink?
Yeah, thanks. I'll have a Pim's Grasshopper, Harvey Warbanger Slim. With Coke.
How about a beer?
All right.
Yes, well, why don't you take off that coat of yours and let us reveal one of those fantastic pussycat bodies, eh?
Sorry.
Yeah, well, why don't you put back your coat and sit down and let's have a party.
Let's have a party. Yeah, what a party. Get you another drink.
Good idea, mate. Have another drink. Yeah,
What do you reckon?
a song.
A song.
What about the Wombat song?
The Wombat.
The old connection song.
Oh, you'll never see this one.
We're in spray guns, the best Wombat spray guns. Proud to be Australian, right, Jezza?
Right on, Wall.
All right, here we go. A one, a two, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Wombat spray gun is the one, the gun to get the spray job done. Yes, the Wombat spray gun is the one with the non-clog nozzle. Yeah! Come on, everybody, to go! Come on, let's do it. You're going to do just follow along with us. It's quite easy, right? Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Wombat spray gun is the one, the gun to get the spray gun. Yes, the Wombat spray gun is the one with the non-clog nozzle. Yeah!
Hi, darling. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, what time is it?
Oh, about 1.
Where have you been?
A late client meeting. Ended up having to take them to dinner and then drive them home. Boring.
Derek,
Hmm?
where are your socks?
Socks?
Socks? Where are your socks?
What do you mean, where are my socks? They're on my... Huh.
Well, where are they?
They must have fallen off.
Socks just don't fall off, Derek.
Well, they broke.
Broke? What do you mean, broke?
Well, how do I know? If I'd known, I could have fixed them. All the holes just joined together and they broke.
Socks don't break.
Well, they dissolved. My odour eaters ate them. Who cares? Forget it, Cherylette.
Derek, I'm a wife and a mother. I know about socks. Now tell me the truth.
All right. I've been with another woman.
Liar.
I have.
You have not been with another woman. You've been out getting drunk with Murray.
I haven't seen Murray.
You work with him.
He left early. Cherylette, will you listen to me? I've been with another woman all the afternoon at the Travelodge, in bed, in a waterbed with a wave machine and blue lights and a Polaroid camera.
You'll have to do better than that. You've been out getting drunk with Murray.
Here, look, on my lapel, a long blonde hair.
It's Murray's.
Murray's got black hair and he's bald.
Don't shout at me, Derek. There's no talking to you when you're drunk.
I am not drunk. I have been with another woman. I, Cherylette, have been unfaithful. Here, look. Smell this collar. See? Nights of Erotica by Chanel.
It's Foster's Lager by God.
All right, Cherylette. You've pushed me too far. You want proof? I shall give you proof. I was trying to hide it from you, but what the hell? There. Now, what's that?
Murray's bra.
You're being impossible, Cherylette. Here I am telling you I've been sleeping with a woman all the afternoon, and I prove it to you with this. And you simply turn around and tell me that my bald business partner wears a black leather bra with studs.
You have not been with another woman. You've been drinking with Murray.
All right. Have it your own way. I've been drinking with Murray. I'm sorry.
You're an alcoholic, Derek. You need help.
Murray! What are you doing here?
All right, I've been hiding.
Who from?
From you.
Me?
Well, the truth is, Derek, I've been here in bed with Cherylette all day.
Cool it, Murray. You were with me, remember?
After an exhausting year of 8 elections and sacking 17 treasurers, the PM says goodbye to the pressures of Canberra and leaves for a well-earned holiday. But where's the nation's First Lady? And here she is, in a real holiday mood. And so, the nation's first family head off for good times in the sun. Sydney and the world's Masters golfing tournament. Thousands of thrilled golfing fans see an exciting finish to the tourney. And a big surprise for Jack Nicklaus. Meanwhile, still traveling to their favorite vacation secluded bush retreat spot, Mr. Fraser's holiday has already begun. The nation's in safe hands. Because while the PM's away, Doug Anthony doesn't play. The heavy decisions of running the country are his. Away from the pressures of world peace, the Prime Minister and the First Lady become simply Mal and Tammy, as they really relax. Meanwhile, there's no time for tea breaks for Doug Anthony. In spite of the pressures of keeping in touch with world affairs, he still finds time to solve the problems of a worried local voter. Meanwhile, proving herself no slouch in the bush kitchen, Tammy serves the tea, piping hot, straight from the campfire.
I said to this long-haired little twerp, I said, listen, Puff, good afternoon. Rex Wombat welcoming you to the Australian Open Tennis Championships.
Well, that's telling him, Rex. I bet he never kissed you again.
We're on the airwaves of the televised broadcasting technique, Nuke.
Oh, fair enough.
With me in the commentating locale is John Nuke. Super adequate tennis racket string virtuoso, pusher of hard booze and soft mattresses.
G'day. I'd like to send a big serve cheerio to all my old mates out there. G'day, Rosso. G'day, Bianco. Nasty.
Italian befriendments of yours, eh, Nuke? Well, I suppose there's nothing wrong with members of the foreign sex. Mind you, I wouldn't let a Fiat in my daughter's parking spot.
The players are warming up, Rex.
Beauty, Nuke. Well, let's have a perceive of the playing exponent competitors of this match in the finals of the women's singles title status eventment. Care to do the honourables, Nuke?
Fair enough, Rex. On the centre court is our own little champion, Yvonne Singalong.
Our very own championic knight in charcoal armour, Yvonne Singalong. A wonderful little piece of Australia fauna, this, even if she is fond of exposing her thighs.
Yvonne's opponent today is the young East German champ, Helga Clegg.
Jesus, she's got arms like legs.
Say again, Rex?
By the by, Nuke, is that a device for the inhalation of artificial stimuloids?
Yes.
The umpire has called a haltment to procedurings.
Now it's Clegg to serve to our Yvonne.
Our Yvonne wants to go wheeze. Clegg's face etched with grim dermatitis. The crowd hushed to perfection. Sheer power. Tension. What's going on, Nick?
Just waiting for her balls to drop, Rex.
And it has. Yes, the umpire has signified out, so it's game, set, and match to our Yvonne. A superbly execrated exhibition of sportsman-womanship there by our very own blood brother, Yvonne Singalong, playing some brilliantine shots and backhand volley, lob, let service, advantage, linesman, chip smash, thunder, ace, boring, fault receiver, mixed doubles. Anything to add to that before we go back to the studio, Nuke?
Yeah, Rex. Juice.
Beauty, Nuke.
What is wrong with this sentence?
The Federal Treasurer are terrific at add-ups, and we'll make sure we're well off.
Of course, that sentence should read...
The Federal Treasurer are terrific at bleep-ups, and we'll make sure we're bleeped off.
And now, a news flash from the mysterious depths of the heart of the Dark Continent.
Brisbane.
In a speech prior to laying the foundation stone of one of his wife's Lamingtons, Mr. Joe Bielke-Peterson strongly defended his proposed ban of anti-government demonstrations in the streets.
I am not trying to suppress freedom of speech,
he said, reading a prepared statement to his wife in the closet.
I'm just trying to ensure that my freedom-loving policemen won't have their democratic jackboots damaged by the irresponsible groins of anti-government demonstrators.
Hans Tolstrup, the famous adventurer and part-time psychology specimen, has succeeded in rowing a dead goldfish from Brisbane to Perth.
It was easy,
he said.
Mind you, Ayers Rock was a bit steep.
And in overseas news, black leaders in Rhodesia have said that when the country comes under black majority rule, they'd like all white citizens to stay.
They'd also like them to sit, heel, big, roll over, and play dead. And now, the weather report.
In Melbourne, the weather has been cancelled because of inclement sporting conditions. Sorry, that should read, show some clemency and cancel Melbourne's weather. Be a sport and weather Melbourne. No? Sorry, what I mean is, Melbourne's been cancelled following a referendum.
Meanwhile, in Melbourne, Mr. Bob Hawke, speaking at a press conference held below his eyebrows, said...
This whole uranium mess can only be solved by a referendum.
Surprisingly, Mrs. Tammy Fraser agreed.
Oh, yes, I think a referendum is a perfect choice. Who else is clever enough to run around a football field all day without swallowing their whistle?
Commenting on his wife's statement, Mr. Fraser said,
Unfortunately for all of us, you picked a bad time to talk to her. She was awake.
Meanwhile, in Adelaide, police are looking for an octopus who held up a bank and escaped with $2,000.
Police warned citizens not to approach the octopus as he is dangerous and extremely armed.
In Britain, the men say...
My dear, you must come down to the country house and look at the portraits.
In America, they say...
Hey, honey, how about we go up to my penthouse and look at my etchings? Huh?
But it's nice to be in Australia, where the men say...
Hop in the back seat and look at the roof.
I was worried because my hair was making me look years older, and I was desperate. Then I heard about Grecian 2000, the amazing new product that allows you to control the amount of grey you lose. A little more, or a lot. Grecian 2000. It certainly changed my life.
Yes. You're all dressed up and ready to go out with him. When suddenly...
Oh, no!
Yes, rough, dry elbows.
Rough, dry elbows! Rough, dry elbows! Oh, I'm a failure. I'll never marry. No man will have me. Rough, dry elbows! I'm doomed to a life of lonely solitude with, God, rough, dry elbows!
Yes, rough, dry elbows.
Oh, stop saying that. The shame, the torment, rough, dry elbows! Ah! Let's get them smooth.
But now, help is at hand. Or elbow.
Joke, stickhead, this is serious. Smooth, great elbows for him.
But have you tried Johnson's baby oil? Just smooth a little on those unsightly, rough, ugly, dry, disgusting elbows, and you too can be normal. And now you're ready to go out with him.
God, but you've got beautiful elbows.
It's my Johnson's baby oil. No more unsightly, rough, dry, disgusting, ugly elbows for me.
They're so smooth, so round. Oh, those elbows. Firm little bouncing elbows. Oh, I'd like to take them in my arms and fondle them. They're so smooth, so erotic.
I know, John, I know. My whole life has changed since I started oiling my elbows.
Changed is right, Gloria. Now you're so sophisticated.
I know.
Good evening. Here is a police message. Following an anonymous tip-off by an unknown person of the unidentified variety, who did not give us his name or tell us who he was, and who was in fact incognito, but did not tell us what part of cognito he was calling from, detectives from the CIB, whom we know quite well, are investigating a train robbery of a magnitude unequalled in Australian criminal history. In fact, may I say quite proudly on behalf of all Australians, it is probably the greatest train robbery in the Southern Hemisphere. All law-abiding citizens are therefore requested to be on the lookout for 3 masked men carrying a 40-ton diesel locomotive and 16 carriages.
You rang, Mr. Byrne?
Ah, yes, Julie, take a memo. To the managing director, dear sir or madam, your memo of the 14th.
I see you're doing the Reader's Digest It Pays to Increase Your Word Power quiz.
That's right. Yes, indeed. Certainly.
Oh, I've been having a go at it too. As well. Also.
Good, good. I say, Julia, isn't that a new dress? Frock? Fashion? Gown?
Yes, yay, verily. Agreed.
It's very becoming, alluring, revealing, exciting.
Thank you, Tar.
Julie, put your book down and come and sit here on my knee. Joint. Patella.
Infibulation.
Thanks. Gratitude. Appreciation.
Now I resist, reject, refuse, decline.
Come on, Julie. No one will see you. My God, woman, you've got beautiful breasts. Bosoms. Tits. Boobs. Norks. Fun bags.
Oh, stop it, Alan. I'll yell, shout, scream, cry out, yodel.
You do, and you're sacked, fired, banished, shooed, booted, ejected.
Well, I'll tell your wife, spouse, little woman, old cheese, trouble and strife.
Not Gloria. Gasp, shock, horror, stun, amaze.
What's more, you can stick your lousy job up your nose. Proboscis, trunk, snout, conch, hooter!
Don't you dare slam that door, hatch, portal, threshold. Curse, expletive, swear. Oh, poop.
Joy. Yes, Mum? Are you thinking about Skippy?
Don't remind me, Mum.
Come here, darling.
Oh, yeah. Do you think Skippy will ever come home, Mum?
Of course he will.
Will Skippy ever come home, Mum?
Yes, dear.
Will he come home, will he?
Yes, dear.
But will he, Mum?
Yes, dear.
Answer me, Mum!
He'll bloody come home!
Are you sure?
Remember when you were a little girl and Willie the Wombat went missing? And you thought that he'd been swallowed by a snake? Well, remember how Dad took off into the bush to search for him? 14 days he was gone. 3 long weeks. No food. No shelter. No clothes. Calling Willie, Willie, Willie. And what happened?
He was arrested.
Before that, dear.
I found Willie under the bed.
So don't worry. Dad and Tom the Ranger will find Skippy.
Are you sure?
Joy,
Yes, Grandpa?
come here, Gertie. Can you hear me, Gertie?
Yes, Grandpa!
I've got a wise old story that might help you here. Now, when I was in, I think it was in Dakar.
Joy.
I'm Tom the Ranger.
Did you find him, Dad?
Well, Joy, yes, we have.
I'm the ranger round here.
Good.
They call me Tom.
I'm glad.
Hello, Glad.
Found him! Oh, where is he? Where is he? Where is he?
He's in Jim's truck.
Tom.
Oh, boy, Skippy!
Hold it, girlie. Skippy's not the kangaroo he once was.
He's sick. Oh, Skippy. Oh.
Bring him in, Jim.
It's Tom.
Who, Jim?
Tom.
Where?
Here, me.
What are you talking about, Jim?
My name, it's Tom.
I thought you said...
See, Tom. Where there's danger, you'll find Tom.
Will you get the bloody kangaroo?
Joy, I want you to remember that, well, Skippy's had a tough time out there. It's been tough. You see, some folks, city folks, don't look after kangaroos too good. Skippy's changed. I want you to remember that.
Yes, Dad.
Well, he's waiting for you. Go, girlie.
Oh, Skippy! Where's Skippy?
Here he is.
Now, a word from a truck driver.
Laurie.
Pardon?
Laurie Codd. That's my name.
What sort of truck do you drive?
A Mac.
Pardon?
A Mac. I drive a Mac.
Why do you drive a Mac?
Because Puffs drive Bedfords. A Mac's a man's truck.
What about an international?
A transvestite's truck. High heels and nail varnish. Nancy boys. What do you drive?
A Mini?
Get a Mac. Make a man of you.
What about your wife? What does she drive?
Front end loader.
A front end loader. Why?
You haven't seen a front end.
What is wrong with this sentence?
The Premier of Queensland have a nighttime job as a stand-up comic.
Yes, it's obvious, isn't it? That sentence should read...
The Premier of Queensland have a full-time job as a stand-up comic.
The Naked Vicar Show is an RS production for the 7 Network.